rabbis of Yester, year 1, the 24th of Av. It marks the Hilula of a very, very famous rabbi of his time, Rabbi Yitzchak Kobo, Zecher Tzadik Libracha, one of the great rabbis of his time. He was born in the year 1770, passed away in the year 1854. In fact, he came from great rabbinic auspices. I believe his father's name was Rav Cheskia Yosef Kobo, very, very great rabbis of his time. I believe he was born in Jerusalem, in Yerushalayim. I've spoken about various great rabbis that came from the Kobo rabbinic dynasty on various occasions before. He would grow up in Torah with Yirat Shamayim and on, let's just say, the knees of some of the great rabbis over there, especially I think his grandfather was a great rabbi, Rabbi Yitzchak Kobo, Harishon, another great rabbi. Hopefully we'll speak about him at another stage. And I think he himself passed away in the 1807, if I'm not mistaken. Also, his father was great rabbi and a Kabbalist, Rabbi Cheskia Yosef Kobo, who I believe was a Rosh Yeshiva of the famous Kabbalistic yeshiva, Yeshivat Bet El. And we've spoken about this yeshiva on various occasions before. We actually did a special feature, I believe, on the history of the Yeshivat Bet El. I believe it wasn't that long ago. It was maybe last year, if I'm not mistaken. So I recommend everyone to learn more within regards to that and look over that. Okay, so that's interesting. He would take on various different important roles in his life, coming from the great rabbis over there, especially his father, his grandfather. He was standing on the shoulders of great Torah giants. I believe his father actually passed away while he was a Shluchei D'Rabbanan, and he went on a trip to Morocco at one stage in time. Remember, many of the great rabbis of Jerusalem or Hebron, or one of the holy cities, would travel to various North African countries and various places all over Europe to raise funds and mitchazek, strengthen those communities within regards to Torah. It's interesting. While he was young, he was seen as a phenomenal Torah scholar, a genius. Without a doubt, it was, let's just say, and a Talmid Chacham. I think come at the year 1793, it would have been, he would start giving signatures on various different takanot of the Chachamim of Jerusalem. He was only about 23 years of age at that time. He was seen as a very, very trusted figure. I think come at the year 1815, he came out, I think, he started going out in his travels as a Shluchei D'Rabbanan on a higher level, rabbinic emissary. He would try and raise funds for Jerusalem and go to Turkey, to Izmir. Remember, Izmir, Turkey, was a bastion, Torah, flourishing place in of its day. He would, I believe, stay with a famous, wealthy man, someone named Rabbi Yitzchak Ardit, another great rabbi we've spoken about before. I think the author of the Degel Machaneh, respectively, which was Sheilot Shuvot, question and answers book, on the Sefer Machaneh Ephraim, respectively. And I think also it was close to Rabbi Ephraim Nabon, who was another famous rabbi after that. So he'd be connected while he was on his, let's just say, very much to do with his Shluchei D'Rabbanan roles, important roles he took on while he was going all over these different interesting places, let's just say, in of itself. Yes, so that was, so after he finished this specific trip, I believe, to Turkey, where he was raising funds and strengthening the community over there, I think he would now go out to Ashkenazic countries also. It is reported over. Now, afterwards, eventually he would come back to Jerusalem and would become the Rosh Yeshiva of Yeshivat Knesset Yisrael. This famous yeshiva, let's just say, was actually established through Orach Chaim HaKadosh, great rabbi. We mentioned about this, and we actually recorded a video about the Knesset Yisrael yeshiva, I believe, last month. Rabbi Chaim ben Atar, very, very great rabbi, the Orach Chaim HaKadosh was, and was, let's say, the founder of the idea of this. And in those days, I think it was Yeshivat Beit Yaakov Pereira, very much connected to it. It was the same yeshiva, just with a different name, I believe. And that was the great Talmidei Chacham of that generation also. And especially, I think, another famous rabbi we mentioned about before, Rabbi Chaim Cheskia Medini, now the great rabbi. He happened to be the rabbi of the city of, the author of great books, including the Chemed. And I think also he was connected on the early